Hello, my name is Safia Elhillo, and I am the author of Bright Red Fruit. As a poet, how it felt to narrate my audiobook was primarily very humbling. I rarely have the experience of having to listen to my own voice for long stretches of time in that way, because generally speaking, my poems are pretty short. And the main takeaway is that I have 1,000 accents, and they all just kept coming up as the hours pass. And it was really, um, if I'm being generous, it was very interesting, but it was also a little bit silly. So I don't know. I would say humbling primarily. One thing I wish I'd known before recording my audiobook was to pace myself, because even though my books are pretty short and they're comprised of poems, which themselves are not very long, I still, even though the engineer and the director kept asking if I wanted to take breaks, I thought it would be a flex or something to nail it all in one day. But I, on more than one occasion, have lost my voice after narrating an audiobook because I just did not accept the offer for breaks. The advice that I would give to other poets recording an audiobook is advice that was given to me, which is that it is very helpful to have apples on hand when you're recording an audiobook, because they hydrate without it helps with that kind of like juicy mouth thing that really gets picked up on in the microphone. It almost like makes your voice matte. I don't know how else to describe it, but apples are, the number one secret hack for recording the audiobook, I was taught, and now I'm trying to pass that information along as it was so generously passed to me. I think this particular National Poetry Month, I've been uh, trying to be very intentional in thinking around how I, as a poet, can be of service in this particular moment, and how I can be useful to the world's most vulnerable people. How I can the Palestinian poet Rasha Abdul Hadi wrote that whatever sands you can throw on the gears of genocide, do it now. And so every day I'm trying to figure out in what ways can my skills, my platform, my resources be used as sand to throw on the gears of genocide. And I think the eternal question in this line of work, but particularly during this month, is what is the use, what is the function of poetry in the face of horrors such as these? And I'm trying to be very intentional about asking the question, because I think it also feels a little self-indulgent to just throw my hands up and be like, well, I'm useless, so I'm not going to do anything. And so I'm trying to be creative and resourceful in coming up with ways in which I can be of use as a poet during National Poetry Month, but also during these times. And now listen to a clip from my audiobook, Bright Red Fruit.
My mother turns and addresses me directly for the first time in days. Samira. Her voice sounds exhausted, a little hoarse. You might not understand it now, but these rules are for your sake, not mine. I'm trying to keep you safe in this country where the culture is not our culture, and the dangers are new dangers. I am trying to keep you safe in a country I barely understand.